In 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He had 3 ships he left from Spain. He sailed through sunlight, wind and rain.
Columbus's arrival in the Americas brought changes between the Old World and the New World.
The potato was one of the #1 crops that came from the Andes of South America and was brought to the Old World. They were used as cheap food for sailors, and once they were introduced to Europe, they became a major source of food for the lower class. It also became a major food source for the Irish, and then eventually doubled their population until the potato famine showed up. The sugar canes impacted trade during the 1500s. On Columbus's second voyage, he transported sugar canes from the Canary Islands to what is now called the Dominican Republic, which was transported to the Central and South Africa, then finally the British. Maize is one of the most important New World crops involved in the Columbian Exchange. It originated in America, but was transported to Europe and successfully cultivated in several regions. Maize and the introduction of new crops helped support economies and increase the population.
Horses first arrived with Columbus in 1493. Explorers brought them along on voyages across the ocean because they became an essential part of their lives. They became a part of battles and eventually multiplied and became free in the wild. Cattle were also very important to the New World. In 1521, they were brought to Mexico and domesticated. The ones left in the wild were killed for their meat and hides. They eventually became a very important food source that provided explorers with the nourishment they needed.
The written alphabet was used by Europeans in order to educate the natives, since they had no formal written language. This allowed advancements in trade, religion, and communication. The introduction of new weapons, such as steel, knives, and guns, greatly impacted the Native Americans. The trading of weapons between Europeans and Native Americans replaced old weapons such as bows and arrows and spears. This improved hunting for Native Americans because now large herds and larger animals were able to be hunted. The New World was greatly affected by the advancements in farming. New tools such as the plow were introduced and allowed more land to be cultivated. Europe did experience as much crop development because compared to the New World, they did not have rich soil.
The Columbian Exchange brought many positive things, such as the crops and other items we talked about, but not all aspects were positive. Diseases were spread among the Old and New World due to the exchange. The Old World was affected by diseases such as the measles, smallpox, and chickenpox. These were spread rapidly and wiped out a huge portion of the Indian population. On the other hand, the New World was affected by diseases such as polio and syphilis. Syphilis affected a great number of Europeans and spread slowly and eventually reached Europe, Africa, Russia, and other nations.
The negative effects of the Columbian Exchange led to the Atlantic slave trade, the devastated population of the Americas, and the diversity that has diminished.
The positive effects of the Columbian Exchange resulted in the increase of worldwide population, an increase in food supply, and native tribes becoming more secure.
1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He had 3 ships he left from Spain. He sailed through sunlight,